What is the significance of Jesus carrying his cross? What does it mean for us today? Let's break that down. When we think about Good Friday or the crucifixion of Jesus, what comes to mind is that Jesus was nailed to a cross, that he suffered, and that he died for our sins. And all of that is true. But in this video, I want to focus on another aspect of the crucifixion, and that is Jesus carrying his cross. As followers of Jesus, we know that we are saved by grace through faith. We know that we don't deserve God's forgiveness. We know that we are sinners, and because of our sin, we deserve judgment. But Jesus took our punishment, our just deserts, our judgment, and he paid it for us. In other words, he atoned for our sins. This is the meaning of sacrifice, something being substituted in our place. So why did Jesus carry his cross? First, let's look at the word carried in the Greek language. The word used here is phoreo, and it means to carry, to bring, to conduct, or to lead. Now, in the original language, the word doesn't differentiate between something or someone being carried, but there's always an element of choice involved. So when someone or something is carried, it implies that it is being carried willingly. In Matthew 27-32, as they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon. They forced this man to carry Jesus' cross with him. But what does the word forced mean in the Greek language? The word is ekbalane, which means to throw out or to eject violently. So the soldiers basically threw Jesus out to Simon, saying, "Hey, you carry him." But the word carry is still phoreo, which implies that there is an element of choice. Now, Simon could have said no, he could have resisted, but instead, he chose to carry Jesus' cross. Why did he choose to do this? Because he was a follower of Jesus. This is what we read in Mark 15:21. And Simon, instead of protesting, because he also had been a follower of Jesus, submitted himself, took up the cross, and went with him. Simon didn't have to carry that cross. He chose to carry that cross. Why did Jesus allow men to carry his cross? Because he wanted to go to the cross. Look at Matthew 26 minutes and 39 seconds. And he went a little farther and fell on his face, crying out, "My Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done." Jesus was fully God and fully man, and so he had a human nature that wanted to avoid suffering. But he had a divine nature that compelled him to pay the price for our sins. What does this mean for us today? Jesus didn't just carry his cross, he willingly carried his cross. He willingly went to the cross. Friends, Jesus didn't have to go to the cross. No one forced him to go to the cross. He chose to go to the cross because of his great love for you and I. He loved us so much that he gave everything, even his life, for us. 1 John 3:16 says, "By this we know love, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren." Friends, if Jesus didn't have to die for us, if he just chose to die for us, how much more should we choose to live for him? Jesus didn't just carry his cross. He willingly carried his cross, not because he had to, but because he loved us. And because he loved us, he allowed us to nail him to that cross. Because he loved us, he allowed us to pierce his sides with a spear. Because he loved us, he allowed us to leave him out to dry, naked on that cross. Because he loved us, he allowed us to do all of those things, because he had to pay the price for our sins. I hope this video blesses you and helps you to remember the reason why Jesus came to earth. He came to give us hope. He came to give us a future. He came to save us. And he did this because he loves us. God bless you, friends. Until next time.